Good evening and welcome to Montgomery County's United in Service and Support Community webinar that will focus on new opportunities, advancement through workforce training and certification programs. Thank you for joining us. I'm your moderator, Jordan Lindsay. Now, this is one of many webinars that is part of a series of informational sessions with elected leaders who are united in their efforts to support our residents during these challenging times. Now, today's host is Montgomery County Councilmember Marilyn Balcom. Councilmember Balcom is joined by representatives from Montgomery College, Dr. Sarah Campbell, the Vice President of Liberal Arts and Education, and Dr. Nawal Ben-Mouna, Vice President of STEM and Health Sciences. We also have representatives from the universities at Shady Grove, Dr. Boyd, the Assistant Dean for Civic Engagement, Dr. Scott Riley, the Instructor and MS Internship Coordinator for the School of Pharmacy at University of Maryland, Baltimore, Dave Bonauer, the Business Partnerships Program Director at the Universities of Shady Grove, as well as Mary Lang, the Chief Strategy Officer, Chief of Staff at the Universities of Shady Grove. And we also have representatives from Workforce Montgomery with us this evening, Anthony Featherstone, the Executive Director for WorkSource Montgomery, Jessica Isafau, the Deputy Director of WorkSource Services, and Sarah Van D. Wert, the Director of Government and Board Relations. We will hear from them in just a few moments. We also have questions that have come in through our website, and we will be asking residents to share questions using the Q&A function. Now, the Q&A feature on Zoom can be located at the bottom of your screen in the toolbar. For the panelists, we kindly ask that you mute yourself when it is not your turn to provide remarks. We also have simultaneous interpretation services available from English to Spanish for those who may need it. Participants here on Zoom can hear Spanish interpretation by selecting the interpretation button at the bottom of their Zoom screens. Now, this will be the globe-shaped button located in the toolbar, then select interpretation in Spanish. Now I'll go ahead and toss it to my colleague, Marcela Rodriguez, to translate how to access the Spanish channel. Marcela, to you.
Thank you, Jordan. Good evening, everybody. Buenas noches a todos. Muchísimas gracias por acompañarnos durante esta sesión informativa, donde contaremos con servicios de interpretación simultánea del inglés al español. Para quienes lo necesiten, pueden obtener esta ayuda en la plataforma de Zoom en la parte inferior, donde seleccionarán el botón de interpretación en sus pantallas. Este será el botón en forma de globo ubicado en la barra de herramientas y posteriormente seleccionar la opción de interpretación al español. Muchísimas gracias. Jordan, back to you.
Thank you so much, Marcela. Now I'll go ahead and toss it to Montgomery County Council Member Marilyn Balcom for remarks. Councilmember Balcom, to you.
Thank you. I first want to say thank you so much to Jordan and Marcela and the entire communications team. You have been doing such a great job to make sure all of these things happen. So thank you so much. And thank you all for joining us this evening for this informational webinar. I look forward to hearing from our distinguished panelists to learn more about emerging industries, hiring trends, for those of you out there who might be considering changing career paths. This is the 12th webinar in a series, as Jordan said, hosted by one of my colleagues, each in turn. And we have, if you haven't been able to tune in, please do so. We have information on reductions in force. We have mental health resources, federal workers' rights, business incubators, housing issues, food resources, unemployment resources. And so this topic just accompanies all of those things. Tonight, our presenters are going to discuss options for career advancement and career change. Career change can be overwhelming, whether it's a small change or something that you're going to change your entire career all in one go. And we have our partners with us tonight who can help that. So we have so many great educational assets in Montgomery County, Montgomery College, universities at Shady Grove, and WorkSource Montgomery. So we're going to hear a little bit from each one of them. And as with all of our seminars, what we really want is to hear from you and to answer your questions directly. So we're going to start with Montgomery College, which is near and dear to everyone's heart. So thank you, Montgomery College, for being here. Tonight we have with us Dr. Sarah Campbell, Vice President of Liberal Arts and Education, and Dr. Nawal Ben-Mouna, the Vice President of STEM and Health Sciences. So please take it away.
Thank you, Councilmember Balcom. I am Sarah Campbell. I am the Vice President of Liberal Arts and Education at Montgomery College. I'm joined, as you noted, by my colleague, Dr. Nawal Ben-Muna, Vice President for Health Sciences and STEM at Montgomery College. And we are so pleased to be able to share some of Montgomery College's efforts in workforce development and certification with you this evening. Next slide, please. We would like to share a few different programs with you this evening that span different disciplines within the college. I will first share efforts from our School of Education for teacher certification programs. Dr. Ben-Muna will subsequently share efforts in the biotechnology and cybersecurity realms. Next slide, please. At Montgomery College, through a close collaboration between MC and Montgomery County Public Schools, we are so pleased to offer an alternative certification for effective teachers program, which we call ACET, A-C-E-T. This is a teacher preparation program for professionals who have a degree, but who are passionate about education and wish to become secondary teachers in high-need disciplines. Following a competitive admissions process, selected candidates join a cohort for 10 to 12 weeks of intensive coursework in our Teach Institute, and this is followed by a 6-week teaching internship. Subsequently, they interview for positions in MCPS and conduct a 1-year supervised teaching residency in MCPS with full pay and benefits. Next slide, please. Recently, as a result of a teacher quality and diversity grant awarded by the Maryland Higher Education Commission, as a result of Governor Moore's call to action for state agencies to support displaced federal workers, MC has been able to launch an accelerated pathway called ACET Flex, Feds to Eds. This is a redesign and extension of our current MC ACET program, and it provides an innovative pathway into the teaching profession by intentionally targeting displaced federal workers, because we know that they bring deep subject matter expertise, leadership experience, and a strong sense of public service. What we now have is a dual cohort model, which has a track for conditional teachers as well, and that ensures that participants receive differentiated coaching, extended internship opportunities, and residency year options that meet their unique needs. I would subsequently like to turn this over to Dr. Ben-Muna, who will tell you more about biotech and cybersecurity options at MC. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Campbell. Next slide, please. The Montgomery College Biotechnology Program conducts education and training at all levels at the Bioscience Education Center, which is a state-of-the-art facility centrally located on the I-270 Biotech Corridor. Next slide, please. We have 3 categories of biotechnology workforce development programs. First, the BioTrain program, which is designed to provide a boost to both employees and employers. Training is free of cost. The short lectures, workshops, and hands-on training are all taught by industry experts. And these workshops are geared towards individuals who are seeking to upskill or reskill to apply for jobs in the biotech sector. The BioTrack workshops are offered in partnership with Montgomery College and are geared towards graduate, postgraduate research scientists. These workshops are taught by active research scientists and innovators from leading research institutes and private industry. Montgomery College also offers a free-of-cost biotechnology boost camp that prepares individuals for entry-level roles in the rapidly growing local biotech industry. Next slide, please. The Montgomery College Biotechnology Associates of Applied Science degree prepares students for entry into the biotechnology workforce and to continue on to receive a bachelor's degree in biotechnology. With the Biotech Certificate Program, we offer shorter credit certificates in biotechnology, biomanufacturing, and cell and gene therapy. Next slide, please. We have held networking and job fairs for recently displaced federal research and associate scientists, which were very well attended, and we hope to offer more. So please be on the lookout for those. Next slide, please. At Montgomery College, you can also prepare for an exciting career in the fast-growing field of cybersecurity. You can gain hands-on practical skills in cybersecurity from seasoned industry professionals. Next slide, please. Our Cybersecurity Workforce Accelerator Workforce Development Program is designed to fast-track your entry into the cybersecurity field. It consists of 48 hours of accelerated training, completely online. It comes at no cost to participants, and enrollment is rolling year-round. The certification earned at the end of this program is a Security Operations Center Operations Analyst certification, which is an industry-recognized credential. Next slide, please. Our Associates of Applied Science and Certificate program in cybersecurity prepares entry-level computer technicians with cybersecurity expertise and offers transfer options to four-year institutions with baccalaureate granting degrees. Next slide, please. And more opportunities in this field can be accessed through our Information Technology Institute, or Computer Technology, where you can choose from a wide variety of career-focused, hands-on courses taught by industry professionals in our state-of-the-art technology classrooms. Classes are taught virtually or on campus. And finally, the Ignite Hub, which is a collaborative space created to ignite and inspire innovation in Montgomery County, offers a variety of in-person, virtual, and hybrid events and classes for the community. Thank you for the opportunity to share with you our programs.
Thank you so much. One of the things that's so great about Montgomery College is their relationship with employers. And so they're at the forefront of what employers need. And so the skills that they are providing really relate to the skills that you might need on the job. So I so appreciate that. And this is just the tiny tip of the iceberg in terms of the wealth of degree programs, certificates and degrees that they have at Montgomery College. So thank you both for that information. So next, another wonderful asset in Montgomery County is the universities at Shady Grove. So we have with us Dr. Boyd, the Assistant Dean for Civic Engagement from the University of Maryland, Dr. Scott Riley, Instructor and MS Internship Coordinator for the School of Pharmacy at University of Maryland, Baltimore, Dr. Dave Bonara, the Business Partnership Program Director at USG, and Mary Lang, the Chief Strategy Officer, will be available for questions. So I'm going to turn this over to Dr. Boyd. Thank you.
Hi, Marilyn. This is Dave. I'm gonna kick it off for us here.
Super.
Hi, this is Dave, University of Shady Grove. Can you all hear me?
Yep, we can hear you, Dave.
Okay, great. Yeah, the universities at Shady Grove, and I apologize, having a little bit of technical issues with the computer tonight. I don't know if you can see me, but hopefully you can hear me. University of Shady Grove was founded 25 years ago, and the reason it was founded was that if people wanted to go to a four-year institution and they lived in Montgomery County, they had to leave Montgomery County. So the Universities of Shady Grove was created as a regional higher education center, and at the center, 9 different state universities offer specific degree programs on our campus in Rockville, which is at the corner of Shady Grove Road and Darnestown Road. If you go to the next slide, please, you can see the institutions that are partners here. And the programs that are offered here are offered based on what industry need is. So if you go to our website, you take a look at our programs, you will see there's a lot of cyber programming, there's a lot of life sciences programming, there's a lot of healthcare, there's a lot of engineering, because that's where the growth is in the industries in and around Montgomery County. The other unique thing about Universities of Shady Grove is that the baccalaureate programs we also offer master's and a few doctoral programs. The baccalaureate programs, we only offer the junior and senior year. So the idea is to be part of a pathway. So if you start at Montgomery College, you can transfer to USG. So if you're looking at coming to USG, and you've already got the first 2 years, you only need to complete 2 more years to get your bachelor's degree. So that's an important thing. Now, we think where USG might be able to be helpful to the to folks that are looking for work, maybe to upgrade your skills, is to either finish that bachelor's degree, or perhaps if you're interested in being a career changer, you can get a bachelor's, or you can go after some of our master's degrees to help increase your skill set to make you more marketable. I'm going to turn it over. We've got Dr. Boyd and Dr. Riley who are going to talk about their programs a little bit more specifically, and then in the Q&A, we're happy to answer any of the questions they have about programming. So let me turn it over to Hank Boyd and before I turn it over to Hank, let me also be clear that the programs that you take at Shady Grove, if you enroll in one of Dr. Boyd's programs and you graduate, your degree is from the University of Maryland. Shady Grove doesn't offer degrees, so Dr. Boyd will explain. It's the same program you would get if you go over to College Park. So Hank, let me turn it over to you.
Okay, well, thank you, Dave. I want to reiterate that point. It's a very big one. We've had a number of students over the years think that, oh yeah, I'm going to get a degree from the universities at Shady Grove. Not the case. So if you think of us as the satellite campus, we are the Robert H. Smith School of Business, and we happen to have a presence on the Shady Grove campus. So that's the key here. So if we can see the next slide, please. All right, so you can see it's a picturesque view of what the campus looks like. We have a total of 4 buildings now over the last 25 years. And so let's go to our next slide. And you can see we have a ton of various different majors. In particular, we're going to be looking at, in this case, the University of Maryland at College Park. And you can see that we offer undergraduate degrees in accounting, marketing, and management. We also have master's degrees if you want to do business administration, and we have some specializations in the master's itself, and we have that presence at the Shady Grove campus. Okay, so let's go to the next slide, and there's our friend Testudo. Okay, now we're rolling. For some of you out there, you might say, you know what, I've got 60 credits, or maybe a little more than 60 credits, and that's great. So if that's the case and you're saying, I got to get this degree, I got to finish this up, well, we offer, based on demand in the marketplace, our majors are accounting, management, and marketing. Now, initially, about half of our class coming in any given year is accounting, and the kids in accounting are killing it. So they're in the big 4, they're working for various firms, and also our marketing and management folks have done well of late, working for companies like Amazon and the like. So if you're looking for a career change, you might find getting that degree can make all the difference in the world. Another thing I can attest to, since I'm now the Assistant Dean for Civic Engagement, is that a lot of our former recent grads in the last 5 years have made it their business to say, I'm a Terp, I graduated from Shady Grove. When I hire, I'm looking for people who have my same experience. And so what's really cool about Shady Grove, it's a smaller setting relative to the main campus, class sizes, and it's a cohort. So you take the same courses if you're a management major or accounting major, or if you find yourself in marketing. And of course, getting access to our advisors, we've got Luke and we've got Aki, and they've been tremendous in terms of steering folks into the right careers. We find that the campus is very idyllic. It's got state-of-the-art facilities in terms of the classrooms and computer labs and the like. And we're right there in the heart of the action off of 270. So lots going on in technology corridor, and it's just tremendous. One of our neighbors is Millipore Sigma, and that's kind of cool to see the biotech presence is coming. Next slide, please. Now, the way it works, our only point of entry is in the fall. So you're going to come in the fall, and it's also the same with our MBA group as well. And all the courses, this is the beauty. We've got folks that teach in main campus. They also teach over at Shady Grove. So it's the same faculty. It's not like, oh, it's a shell game. You know, they got a whole different set of faculty folks. I've taught on both campuses now for 20 years. And they have the same rigor, the same requirements in terms of getting you up to speed as far as your respective major. And we find that what's really cool is the Shady Grove students stay on the Shady Grove campus. They take their classes together, they get to know each other, and they build lifelong friendships. And like I said, it's the exact same degree. You graduate from the University of Maryland College Park, the Robert H. Smith School of Business on that day of graduation. And our big 3, our majors are accounting, management, and marketing. All right, so our next slide. Now, we've heard the cry of the crowd, and we hear the voice of the people. And so one of the things we're very proud about is that when we had all this turbulence going on, we said, look, we got to do something, especially folks in the federal area. So we want to support our federal workforce. And in so doing, what we're offering is a 30% discount on the first year of courses in our STEM designated MS and MBA programs. That STEM designation is very important because if people want to pivot, it's important to have that on your resume. So that can make all the difference in the world. Now there's a URL there that if you can hit that and click on it, it will give you the particulars of that program. It's just way too much to cover there. But once again, we are trying to do what we can. We want to be good corporate citizens, and we do care greatly about the state of Maryland and, of course, things happening on the Shady Grove campus. So at this point, let me hand the baton over to Scott.
Thanks a lot, Dr. Boyd. A hard act to follow, but I'll try my best. So next slide, please. So I'd like to introduce the School of Pharmacy from the University of Maryland, Baltimore's program, the Masters in Pharmaceutical Sciences. And you can read the description here, but what I want to highlight is this is a master's degree that is focused on providing training to the individuals who take it that directly translates into their next job. And we've taken a couple of steps to try and ensure that happens. One being that the program is designed to be flexible and accessible, with an idea that many individuals will be working while they are trying to complete this master's degree. The other major component of this degree is that the classes that you'll take and the experiential learning that you'll get is all from either industry experts, internationally recognized faculty, or government fellows that come in and give you the direct training. There are a couple of big points here that I want to make is that it's very much an on-campus program. You need about 35 credits. I think it's 34 now. I should update that to graduate. There's no longer the Baltimore option. It's only at USG, which is great based off of everything that Dr. Boyd mentioned about the campus. It is a beautiful campus, and it does give you that strong sense of community. The other thing that I want to highlight here is that unlike many other master's programs, we provide an accelerated experience so that you can get to the job market faster. So you're only in the program for 16 months, and then you're off to the races to get a job. Our applications start in the fall, and the deadline for it is roughly March 1st. Changes sometimes. Next slide, please. So one of the things I want to highlight here are the courses that you'll be able to take in the master's program, and then kind of the major attraction to our program, which is the 6-month internship. So on the left of the slide here, we can see that you're going to take a number of different courses, and in the first year, you're going to be focused mostly on didactic learning. You're going to be learning the theory of pharmaceutical sciences. You're going to be learning major science communication skills. And then we're going to shift gears in the second year, and you're going to join a 6-month hands-on internship where you'll be working 40 hours a week in one of the major 3 areas of STEM, either government, industry, or academia. And in that time, you'll really get a good sense of what's required for the job. One of our biggest partners is AstraZeneca, and there's a pretty strong trend with students who go to AstraZeneca and then they get a job several months later at AstraZeneca, Pfizer, GSK, and that's all because of the great skills that they learn in these internships. And as I mentioned, industry is not the only entity we work with. We have internships with the FDA, NIH, and we also have internships in academia. So you can work with research faculty at UMB or research faculty at the IBBR, which is located right next to the USG campus. And that's everything that I'll say about the program. I'll put the link for the program in the chat.
Okay, thank you so much. And again, the relationship between USG and the employers, that's what you're getting when you go to the universities at Shady Grove, when you go to Montgomery College, and also the relationship between getting your associate's degree at Montgomery College and moving on to universities at Shady Grove. It's a great partnership here in Montgomery County. So thank you all for that, and we'll look forward to questions in a minute. So now let's pull it all together with the WorkSource Montgomery. And it's a great organization that really looks at workforce development. It is our county's workforce development entity, and we're going to learn a little bit about training, certificate programs, and the services that they provide. So we have with us Anthony Featherstone, who is the Executive Director, Jessica Isufa, the Deputy Director of Workforce Services, and Sarah Vanderweert, the Director of Government and Board Relations. So I appreciate Mr. Featherstone, if you would like to start.
Yeah, absolutely, Councilmember. Thank you for having us. And it's great to be here with two of our closest partners, universities at Shady Grove and Montgomery College. And so Anthony Featherstone, Executive Director for Workforce Montgomery, and we'll talk to you a little bit about the services that we're offering to our federal workforce when it comes to reemployment efforts. Next slide, please. And so you're going to get a lot of information. You've received a lot of information. You're going to get a lot more during this presentation. And there's so many resources out there. I wanted to start with throwing a few links in the presentation that are really important as you navigate what's out there and what's available to me. I'll start with Mobilize Montgomery. It's a coalition that includes county government, includes Montgomery College, universities at Shady Grove, the Montgomery County Chamber, Montgomery County Economic Development Corporation, and a host of other partners. And so we came together to streamline the flow of information to federal workers who are back in the market. And so you can check out mobilize-montgomery.com, and you can find a plethora of resources, whether it's federal resources all the way down to local resources and new events and things that are happening. And so we encourage everybody to check out that website. There's also Maryland Department of Labor, who has a federal worker support page, Montgomery County Economic Development Corporation, which has a lot of resources for small businesses and entrepreneurs. But today I'm going to talk to you a lot about the services that we offer here at WorkSource Montgomery through our federal worker support programs. And so we'll get into that. Next slide. So there's a lot that's available, and I'm going to kind of talk through this tree right here. But number one, I would like everybody to know that our comprehensive job center is located at 11510 Georgia Avenue in Wheaton. In that center, there's 10 or 11 partners to give you a one-stop shop no matter what type of services that you need. One of those services are unemployment. And so if you ever have any questions or concerns, or you're having a hard time getting through to someone when it comes to your unemployment insurance claim, you can drop into the workforce or the American Job Center any day of the week, and you can talk to a live unemployment insurance rep that's on site. And so we want to make sure that everybody knows that those resources are there. Skill Up Montgomery. If you are looking to sharpen or strengthen your skills while you're back in the market, in addition to Montgomery College, in addition to universities at Shady Grove and some of our awesome local training partners like ASM Education Center, we have a virtual training center that's available to every Montgomery County resident. And through this training center, you are able to access over 6,000 training courses and 125 certification courses. And so everything from professional development skills trainings to hard skills training, where you're getting your certifications in Network Plus and Security Plus through CompTIA. You can do it all at your leisure from the comfort of wherever you like to learn from. If you are trying to figure out what is your next step, in addition to in-person coaches that are available at the Job Center, our virtual career coach program is also on our website. And so this is a platform where you can go in and take an assessment that's as light as 6 questions or as deep as 60 questions. And you can figure out, based on your strengths and your interests and your work values, what the options are for you as far as a next step in your career path. And then once you figure out that next step in your career path, there are resources like the Maryland Workforce Exchange. This is our primary job platform where we have thousands of jobs that are posted or active on a daily basis, where you can mount your resume, update your resume, blast your resume out to employers, and on the reverse side, they can search for your resume as well based on the job postings that they put in there and their talent needs. And so we encourage everybody to log in and register with the Maryland Workforce Exchange so you can connect to local opportunities. Another platform that we utilize on a day in and day out basis is the Google Career Dreamer platform. It's a platform that was just released by Google in February of 2025, and it is free to anyone. It's a web-based platform. You don't have to have a Google account, but what it does is it's a fun and intuitive way to interact with an AI platform to put in what you've done. And then get connected to opportunities that are available to you right in your local area. And so you can put in your current or former job, and you can list the skills that you've done, and it'll connect you to real jobs that you can apply to real time. And so it's a really cool tool that's been effective in our reemployment services. And then last but not least, I do want to thank Councilmember Balcom and your colleagues for sanctioning a new federal workforce career center that's opening very soon, early fall. There will be a career center specifically dedicated to federal workers. And so if you want to come in and sit down with someone and talk to a career coach, if you want to figure out how to turn your skill set into a revenue and profit generating business, there'll be entrepreneurship coaching. If you want resume assistance, and then if you want help just finding your next opportunity, there'll be people dedicated to serve you at the Federal Workforce Career Center that's opening this fall. And so these are just a little bit about the services that we offer, but we always say it starts with a conversation. Come see us, call us, connect with us however you think is best for you, so we can start the journey with you and helping you find your next opportunity. Next slide. And so lastly, if you want to know how do I find out about a job fair, how do I find out about a professional development workshop, whether it's in person, whether it's virtual, how do I find out how I can jump into one of the free professional headshot sessions, or where will the mobile job center be in relation to where I live? Check out our calendar events, which can be found at our website, worksourcemontgomery.com. And we list all of our events, all of our programs on this website, where you can register for anything that you think makes sense for you. We're happy to have you join us and serve you. And so that's just a little bit about what we do and what we're doing at WorkSource Montgomery with our partners. And so if you are out there looking for your next opportunity and you do need support, you're not alone, connect with us and we'll be happy to help you out. Next slide. And with that, Councilmember Balcom, I appreciate you for letting us join again, and I'll turn it back to you.
Okay, so thanks. And there, as everyone here has said, there's just a tremendous amount of resources available, and it can be overwhelming. But what you've heard today is that these are three excellent organizations that can really help you go step by step by step. So now we're going to hear from you and hear what your questions are, and we'll do our very best to answer them. So I'm going to turn it over back to Jordan. Thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Councilmember Balcom. And for the virtual audience, there are some helpful links and contact info located in the chat. Please take a look. And just a friendly reminder that we received a lot of questions from residents on similar issues. So I'll be reading some submitted questions that reflect a broad part of the community. Please also note that all questions that have been submitted will be captured and used to help us plan upcoming webinars. Now we'll move on to questions and comments from residents. Up first are questions about local workforce training and certification programs. This person wants to know, can you elaborate on Montgomery College's career coach and how to specifically navigate it to find local opportunities? I know we kind of touched on that, but I didn't know if a Montgomery College rep could help answer that.
Yes, absolutely. I'm happy to do that. So Career Coach is a tool that students can use to answer questions about their interests, determine fields that might align with their interests, and then see what the educational path is to reach that goal and to work in that career. So Career Coach will interact with you and help you sort of hone what your interests are, what academic background you need, and then what the career options are. I would say in addition to Career Coach, which you can find on the Montgomery College website, our student career and employment services also work actively with students to ensure that we're preparing them to succeed outside of the classroom and beyond MC. From our College Central Network, which is a referral source for jobs and internships for our students and our alumni and local employers, to our student employment specialists who can help with resume writing and interviewing and job searches. We work with students throughout their academic career through counseling and advising, through program advising, and then through career and services to help students identify opportunities and be prepared to take on those opportunities.
Great. Thank you so much, Dr. Campbell. Another question, moving on, can you offer advice to anyone in the workforce that wants to upskill their education at the universities at Shady Grove in undergraduate and or graduate programs that align with current industry needs? Can you also elaborate on any growing trends regarding current industry needs and recommendations on possible majors to focus on? I didn't know if somebody from the universities of Shady Grove would like to.
Sure, this is Dave. I'd be happy to jump in on that first, and then if my colleagues want to add on to that. What we're seeing is, not surprisingly in our area, the growth areas tend to be in engineering and technology, as well as health and life sciences. So in the engineering and technology area, these are things like engineering for obviously cybersecurity, information technology programming, things like that. In the health and life sciences area, nursing and social work are always in need. That's a pretty significant career switch for some people. But other things in the healthcare area, biotechnology, bioinformatics, and transitional life sciences. And what transitional life sciences is preparing you for working on a bench in the life sciences industry. We only offer certification programs that are tied to degree programs. So I'd like my USG colleagues to respond first, but if the Montgomery College folks then in WorkSource Montgomery also could kind of hop in, because they offer more the shorter term, sometimes non-credit training programs that can also give you a sense of whether you're qualified for a career. Like USG a few years ago did a boot camp program in the life sciences, in the transitional life sciences area, that people were able to take to kind of feel out whether they wanted to change into that industry without enrolling in an entire program. So there are opportunities like that. But so before Montgomery College could jump in, Dr. Boyd and Dr. Riley, is there anything you want to add in?
Yeah, there's a lot to hit there. Let's see. These days, I would say that we're awash with information. So we're so used to it now. It's all about information these days. So I know I'm a marketing guy, so I'm a little biased. But your ability to work now with the AI and to build, to edit it, to tell stories from it, storytelling, and that becomes very important. We're finding that companies are so much competition in spaces now. Your ability to actually shape narratives and to get in front of folks to actually close them still matter. So if you find that you're very good in those skill sets of sales, sales will endure. It's kind of a funny thing. I've been teaching so long. I can remember a time when you could never say sales in a business school. Now we're coming back to it. So I would say that those skills will endure. One of my colleagues, just an accomplished, distinguished gentleman, he's my next door neighbor, Roland Russ, has put out a book calling The Feelings Economy. That basically that aspect, the soft skills that we have, our ability to connect as human beings, once again, your ability to engage other folks, to build a narrative, to build your brand, those are going to win the day. That won't go away even with all this technology. So I would say if you're going to pivot, start thinking about how I present information. I'm a master of that information, will take you to the next place. And today's point, it could be in healthcare, it could be in pharmaceuticals, it could be in any of these different sectors, but I think it's going to be a narrative we're going to hear over and over again, saying that I am the one who presents all this information that's at the ready. So anyone else would like the floor? Or?
Yeah, I'll follow that up, Dr. Boyd. First, I'd like to kind of reinforce that notion of communication. If you noticed in our curriculum, we had several communication or technical writing classes. Those classes didn't exist 2 years ago, but we heard from our industry partners that one of the things that was really missing from some students was the ability to communicate this high-level expertise that they were getting from us. So communication is going to be key. And with respect to other skills too, predictive modeling is going to be very big in pharmaceutical sciences. It's not enough that you can potentially design the drug that's coming out, but can you choose from a library of 10,000 which is the best? So learning how to utilize AI, machine learning, to create strong predictive models to best guide where the resources should be spent in pharmaceutical sciences, that is going to be a big skill too. With respect to jobs, our department has noticed a significant tick up in biologics development. So using cells and using enzymes to create the next generations of drugs. That is a very growing industry, and a great example of that is AstraZeneca just opened up a new cell therapy lab a couple of blocks away from Shady Grove. So that's probably going to be a really great opportunity for the students in the incoming cohort of our master's program to jump on after they've completed the degree. And that's what I'll have to add there.
Great. Thank you so much, reps from USG and UMD. I see that we do have a live question. This person asked, are these services only for federal workers? What about former government contractors or employees who are also county residents? And I saw Mr. Anthony Featherstone from WorkSource Montgomery was able to answer. Anthony, did you want to add anything else?
No, I think that's a great question. So for WorkSource Montgomery, all of the benefits and services for federal workers that I mentioned are also available to contractors and their staff members or former staff members. So great question. Thank you for that.
Great. Thank you, Anthony. Up next, this person says, with Councilmember Balcom being lead for workforce development, how is the council aiming to strengthen the county's business climate and bring jobs to the Up County specifically?
Well, thank you for that. So when we talk about jobs, there's so many aspects to bringing jobs to Montgomery County, and we have a lot of programs in place to incentives to bring companies here. One of those is the MOVE program. If you're either coming into the county for the first time or you're expanding, there is a program that can help you with the cost of your lease. So that's one incentive. Another new incentive that we implemented last year was our jobs program. So we want to attract high-paying jobs. So if you bring in a certain minimum number of jobs, you can get an incentive for each one of those high-paying jobs. So those are two programs. But another very important thing that we invest a lot in is our entrepreneurs. Most employees work in small businesses, and so we have a small business services center in Montgomery County, and we have business navigators who really do a great job of helping someone work through how to start a business, how to grow a business, and what those next steps are. And so we have a lot of many things. Our economic development is done through the Montgomery County Economic Development Corporation, and they do a great job of marketing us not only nationally but internationally. We're trying to bring business from all over the world. And so we have a great marketing team that goes out and to bring businesses here. So plenty of resources. And if you have any specific needs, please get in touch with my office and we can find the right incentive for where you are and your path. So thank you.
Great. Thank you so much, Councilmember Balcom. Up next, what financial aid is available for people looking to re-enter the workforce, specifically those who have been recently laid off from federal work, if any? Are there scholarships to help those who can't afford tuition at the moment? I think any of the local education officials can maybe answer this. Anybody looking?
I can jump in that and have colleagues continue on. So several of our opportunities that we've mentioned about Montgomery College do come free of cost for attendees, and they're supported through grant programs, both at the state level, federal level. So we're very fortunate to have some of those opportunities. Our charitable foundation also does provide scholarship opportunities for our students. And so, of course, for our credit programs, we do have the eligibility for the federal financial aid for students. But for our non-credit programs, we do have many of those scholarship opportunities.
Great. Thank you so much, Dr. Benmona. Up next, does WorkSource Montgomery offer professional headshots? If so, how much does it cost? And where can people sign up? Anthony, I think you briefly touched on this, but if you can elaborate on the headshot opportunities.
Yep, sure, absolutely. And just to speak to the last question as well, Workforce Montgomery doesn't provide the training, but will connect residents to training, and a part of that process is also what we call individual training accounts, where we will pay for your certification courses at Montgomery College. And so there's financial assistance available there. And also with the Skill Up Montgomery platform, if you go through one of the certification programs, you can have a voucher remitted to your testing site at no cost as well through that platform. But we do offer free professional headshots as part of our mastering networking program. When you come to a workshop and you learn about how to build your online presence through LinkedIn, the do's, the don'ts, and also how to network in person, because some are better at it than others, some are more natural at it than others. And so we go through the ins and outs, the best practices of networking. And then at the end of that workshop, we have a professional photographer that comes in and provides those free headshots. So it's at no cost. The next session is August 19th at our Wheaton American Job Center. And we'll drop the link in the chat very soon so you can get more information about that.
Great,
Jordan, can I jump in here? So one of the things that I really like about WorkSource Montgomery, many things, is the taking a resume that somebody's been in a job for 10, 20 years in a federal job, and how to translate that resume to update that resume with the jargon and the new and taking skills, the skill set that you've acquired in your many years, and how to translate that into the jobs of today. So I just wanted to lift that up because I think that's something that you all do very well.
Great. Thank you so much, Councilmember Balcom and Anthony. Next question is a live question. What is the name of the new company coming to Germantown that should create up to 200 new jobs? This is a live question.
I think it might be, if it's the one that I'm thinking of, it's AV, and I'm sorry, I'm blanking on what the AV stands for, but it's in Germantown. But it goes by AV, and they just opened their last week. They just had a ribbon cutting last week, and so they will be onboarding 200 positions. So we're looking forward to that.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Balcom. Next question, please elaborate on Montgomery College's industry certification and credential preparation program. I know we briefly touched on this, but if we can elaborate on that briefly.
I can take this question. So at MC, we actually differentiate between certificates and certifications. And for every one of our workforce development and continuing education program, students receive a certificate of completion for completing the course. The industry recognized certifications such as PMP, SHRM, Network Plus, and some certifications in other fields typically require an exam provided by industry or an industry proxy. And our workforce development and continuing education program then teaches the students the skills they need to succeed in the industry, and also provides test prep courses towards the certification for the exam success. So I hope that part helps.
Thank you so much. That was very helpful. Very helpful. Thank you so much. We're nearing the last few questions here. I know we also briefly touched on this, and anybody can answer. Are there any local resource or job fairs coming up? If so, where and who is hosting them? And if anybody can answer that.
So I'll jump in. We list all of our job fairs on our calendar on our website, and all the job fairs for our partners on the Mobilize Montgomery website as well. And so our team will put the link to the calendar and the Mobilize Montgomery site in the chat. And you'll be able to see the small targeted, maybe one employer hiring events, and the larger job fairs that we have as well. So all of those will be on both of those two sites.
Great. Anybody else would like to chime in?
And Dave, if I'm right, at the universities at Shady Grove on October 8th, we're going to have our first job fair through OCS from main campus. So that could prove to be pretty interesting. And I'm trying to remember all the particulars around it. Kim DeGrosse is handling it, so it's kind of intriguing, and it's kind of our first time we're doing that, so we're pretty excited on that score. Also, there was one other thing to backtrack just a little bit. You had mentioned, is there anything happening in the land of scholarships? For the Smith School, we have the Smith Scholar and the Forte Fellowships. We're offering $50,000 over 2 years, fall and spring, for MBA and select master's dual degree students. It's renewable with 3.0 GPA. We also have a double TERP scholarship, a one-time $10,000 award for UMCP seniors or alumni enrolling in the full-time MBA, Flex MBA, or equivalent master's program. Also, under the Forte Fellowships program, we have some MBA programs that support women leaders, so you might want to check that as well. And as I mentioned prior, the federal grant. If you're a federal employee and their spouse is admitted into our Flex MBA program, you may qualify for a 30% tuition reduction. So if you're thinking about making a pivot or a change, worth considering, there may be monies available.
Great. Thank you so much, Dr. Boyd, and thank you, Mr. Featherstone. That's all the time we have for questions this evening. I'm going to go ahead and toss it back to Councilmember Balcom for closing remarks. Councilmember Balcom, to you.
Thank you. So thank you so much for from our panelists and of course for the engaging questions. One of the things that I've learned recently in a presentation from our site selectors, these are people who go all around the world and help companies locate. Our number one asset in Montgomery County are our people, our workforce. It's what differentiates Montgomery County from all other jurisdictions. It's our workforce, our educated workforce. So if you have lost your job, if you're in fear of losing your job, please know that you're not alone. The county is here to help you. We need your talent, we need your energy, we need your expertise. So please contact us. We have resources available, and please know that the county is behind you. So thank you.
Thank you so much, Councilmember Balcom. And members of the virtual audience, please take a look at your screen where you will see a list of local helpful resources about to pop up. There it is. And thanks again for joining us, and everyone have a great evening.